Sterling, Steve. Okay, I see you guys now. Good morning, guys. Hey, Sterling, Steve. Okay, I see you guys now. Okay, I'm ready. Hi, Big Houston. Thanks for coming in, guys. So the plan is, hi, Brian Bach. How you doing? Thanks for coming in. I'm expecting Sage, the infamous Sage, to come in today, and he's going to give us some YouTube talk about some tips on how to structure a YouTube channel, and maybe he'll be gracious enough to, review my setup, and I'm trying to make it better so that I can deliver better content. I've just been kind of, being social on the YouTubes, but I really, I started this channel so that I could produce some good content, and Lord knows I need help in making it better. So Sage has been gracious enough to help me out and come on live. If you don't know Sage's channel, I think he's just got it called Sage now. Good morning, Snorlord. Sterling Trucking delivers. I like it. Yeah, Sage, there goes the neighborhood. So I spoke to him earlier, and we do have this plan. So I guess I just, and I'll throw up the link. Good morning, Stuart. Good morning, Wheel Burner Express. I am while we're waiting a little bit, I'm gonna give you guys the update. So it is my transmission. It is going in the shop in the morning. So I've been staying all week here in my truck, trying to avoid the hotel bill, right? And it's under warranty, so that's a good thing. And another kind of thing is going on, the alignment. I've been talking about the alignment. I paid for 2 alignments so far, guys. And when the tech drove my truck yesterday, and when I drove it the day before, and even on the way up here, it's still pulling to the right. So I have, as you know, I've gotten the right spring pin replaced when I was at the Freightliner in Indiana. And I don't know if that's causing it or not, but after paying for 2 alignments, like, I'm done paying for alignments, like, right? I've already burned through my first steers and had to get a new steers, and then got the second alignment on that just the other day before I got here on my way up here. And it's still pulling to the right, like nobody did anything. So I've asked the shop while they have it in there, and since they noticed it themselves, to go a little bit deeper and see if there's something else that we're missing, right? So that's a potential. Yeah, so Wheel Burners in the house, Stuart, Snorlord, Sterling, Russell Freight Services LLC, welcome. Donnie Luke is in the house. Steve Wildman, is it Wildman or Wildman? How do you say it? I like Wildman. Steve the Wildman is in the house. Shiny Side Up is in the house. Oh, thanks. And tires can cause pull too. Okay, so because the first alignment was done, it was pulling to the right. I drove on it a little bit, see if it was, if I was crazy or whatever, right? And then wrecked those steer tires. Okay, so I had to get sent for new steers, which I just got the other day. And so I got, then I had to still get an alignment, because now I have the new steers on there. Well, so I got the alignment, the second alignment, and the problem is still there. So that's the current question mark that's going on. Now, the transmission, I had to write it down. Okay. The transmission is the counter shaft brake. That is what went bad in my transmission. So because It's inside the transmission. It's covered under warranty. Thank God. Thank God. So I'm just here. I had a shower. I didn't want to come on without getting a shower and getting out of my funk. You know, like you sit in the truck, especially when you're stuck. And then it's like, at least for me, let me know if anybody can relate, but you get this cloud, right? This dark cloud over you, like the feeling like it just, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like this weird little depression that happens to you, right? Because you just feel kind of trapped and you feel stuck, and you know, it's like I'm locked in jail or something. Never been to jail, don't want to go to jail, but it, you know, I imagine, like, you get what I'm saying. So that's what's currently going on, and you guys are all having a great day. I'm really endeavoring, since I've had some downtime, to study some YouTube stuff and try to figure this out. And you guys are so wonderful and encouraging and patient to always encourage me and to keep going on this thing. I've gotten a few more lady subscribers. I'm almost up to, I'm at 638 subscribers, which is amazing. And I'm just trying to figure out how you increase that, and then therefore, since I have so many subscribers, I really want to produce good content. I could do social stuff like this all the time, and it's great, but I feel like I have to do some more professional stuff too. My goal is to encourage women truckers, so I hope they find me, but I think I have to do a lot of work to help them find me a little better, and that's where I kind of need some coaching. And Sage is has an ultra awesome produced channel, and just has agreed to like share some knowledge to all of us about some things that we can look at and use to help structure the channels. Lots of good channels in here today. Sage wants the link. Okay, Sage is in the house. Sage, hold on 1 second. I want to mention the channels in the house for the people that don't know. Wheel Burner Express has a channel, a great channel, and he's a flatbed guy. And Stuart Warby's in the house, and he has a channel and great videos with his mom. And Stuart is on an amazing journey himself, documenting his journey, as well as Sterling Trucking Delivers. Sterling is doing some great documenting, and he's a great editor, so he makes some really cool videos. This Trucking Life is on also a different journey, which this is great. Like, everybody's kind of doing something different. So subscribe to these channels, go check them out. Lots of different aspects of trucking are going on. Steve Wildman, you have a channel too, right? I believe you do. And Big Houston has a channel. Check that out. That's awesome. And let's see, Shiny Side Up. I bet you have a channel. Everybody in here has a channel. So make friends, get your coffee, sub to each other's channels. You know, is in here. He has a channel. Old School, New School has a channel. So he's got all these great channel members in channel subscribers in here, and channel creators. So this is going to be great. I think that what Sage is going to bring in today is probably going to mention, it'll benefit all of us, because you know there's going to be this and that we're doing. Now, let me say this. Please somebody let me know if there becomes a problem with the internet, because it doesn't look like I have a strong signal. So just putting that out there. We're going to do the best we can. So let me remember how to share the link. I just click it and put it in here. So we're going to get to the news first, that the purpose of this video, and then I'm sure we'll have plenty of time for ball busting or BS and after this. But let's get the beef out. Here we go. There's the link. Or do I invite? Copy to clipboard. I think that's it, right? Is that coming through okay? Yeah, that's it. Okay, Donnie Luke says, I have a few shorts, but nothing worth watching. Oh, Donnie. Everybody check Donnie Luke's channel out. Check out his shorts. Shorty shorts. Okay, here's Sage is coming in.
Hey.
Welcome, Sage. Good morning.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can see you. And okay. Just remember, hopefully the internet's going to hang out with us and do us well today so we can get our information across.
Yeah, it's sometimes that's a big factor too when it comes to like live streaming. The internet doesn't want to hold out, and the better link you have or connection you have, the better it can be also. So, yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm actually thanks for the opportunity to come on your channel and everything.
Yeah, I'm excited. You're a big YouTuber guy to me, and guys, check out Sage's channel. He does the news and elaborates on things. Has a great way of presenting that and discussing the things, giving you different perspectives on it. It's a beefy channel. It's a lot, and some days I look at the titles and I'm like, okay, I can emotionally handle this one today. Yeah. And then some days I'm like, I'm not ready for this yet.
Yeah, and that's and yeah, exactly. And some of the stuff I do, I not everybody, I call people out and I get myself in strike trouble and things like that. So yeah, it's a different I've gone a path with my channel that might not, everybody might not want to follow. But in regards to building a channel, I know that was one of the things you wanted to talk about. So there's a couple things that I did when I started to build the channel, and I really focused on that. Was one thing you're gonna say, it's okay, where do I want to go with my channel? What do I want to do? So there's a different one approach used to be you do a video every single day so that YouTube basically says, yeah, you're a worker and you're putting out content every day and they know where to find you. And that's one way of doing it, like a lot of times early on. Now, just so everybody knows, YouTube will only put out notifications 3 times in a 24-hour period. Okay, so if you go more
for one channel or like collectively all of your subscriptions, you only get 3.
Yeah, so if you do a video on this channel and you go ahead and you do 3 videos, it will send out notifications. On that 4th video, it won't. And for a 24-hour period. So everybody you want to, because I've seen that was one of the biggest things that I seen a lot of people, would doing. They would throw out a bunch of videos, a whole bunch of like shorter videos. Now shorts are different, but right now YouTube is pushing shorts because they want to compete against TikTok.
TikTok, right? Okay.
I am not a short person. Obviously, I am in stature, but not in talking. So
do you know what that does for analytics performance?
The shorts?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what the shorts actually do is shorts are best used to bring in subscribers. They're best used for somebody to click on, I'm going to sub to this person. In regards to the analytics, they're looking for longer times. So, and I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of, other YouTubers, not just in trucking, but outside of trucking, going over their analytics and stuff to kind of understand this. Ryan McBeth is one. He's at like 500,000 or 450,000 subscribers, and we've had conversations. So what he does with his channel is he does shorts, and the goal of the short is to bring in new subscribers, and then he does long form content, and the long form content is for the analytics to keep him moving in that. And if you can kind of understand that, is when you go on your recommendation page, the first thing you see are long form videos. You have to start to scroll down to see that short. Does that make sense?
Yes.
When you look at your screen. So
mine are all at the top. When I look at it, mine are all at the top. Then
not your page. Not your page. When you actually click on to watch other people's stuff. Like, so when you go on, if you were to go to youtube.com, right, and it would pop up, you would actually see long format, and then you would scroll down a little bit to see shorts. So YouTube basically pushes that short as a subscriber. Now, the reason, so that usually brings people in. So when you do shorts, you want a very clickbait title or clickbait, something that's going to grab them to make them click on that video. Right? Either the thumbnail or no thumbnail, or something that's basically not clickbait as in, you want it to talk about the subject, but you want a title that grabs their attention, that basically throws it out there and says, I need to know what he's talking about here. A key thing for that is question marks. It's amazing how many people click on videos when there's a question mark. Hey, did I do this right? Oh, I got to find out what he did, right? It's that we want to know, because we, as humans,
history, right? It's
right. And plus, we all want to give our answer to if somebody did something right, because that's one of the things. Oh, nope, you didn't do it right. So it's just human nature to be able to jump out there and say, well, I'll answer the question for that person. Not a problem. It's just who we are. So putting a question mark or forming something in a question was always a quick way to get somebody to click on that short, is putting in that question format, whatever it might be. Is this a good load? Did I do this right? Is this the way this should look? On your truck? Is this so now you're asking for interaction from your subscribers and from that. And it's a short video. It's a quick video. They're going to watch it. They're going to, comment on it. They're going to like it. And then they're going to hopefully hit subscribe and see what some of your long format is. So, even if it's shorts, things like that, that's always a good way to bring people in, was that question mark. And I did give this advice to another YouTuber who may or may not be on here, but he did say that the whole, there goes the town when I come in. Oh, there he is. There goes the not naming any names, but you can pan back. See, perfect example. Right now, everybody's panning back to figure out who said, there goes the neighborhood. But it's that type of are good with shorts. Long format content, which is obviously over the minute content. There's a attention of about 8 to 10 minutes videos is where YouTube likes to see that, because remember, YouTube's out there. They don't care about your content as much. They don't care. They want to make money off you, right? Their goal is to make money. So if people are watching your video, they're making money. If you're, so any way YouTube can make money off of you, do it. I tell this people all the time. Even if you turn on memberships and set it for 99 cents, turn it on, because the YouTube could possibly make money, so they're going to promote you on it. Super thanks.
Do you know what that looks like? Because I've noticed a jump in people offering memberships, right? So let's just say, for instance, Pale Rider has a 99-cent crony, right? You can be a 99-cent crony, so it's 99 cents. So in that business model, what does that do for your channel? I mean, obviously people want to get some extra money too, but does YouTube take a percentage of that when you do that, of your membership money?
Yeah, so what they do is they do this, I think they do a 60-40 split. It's the same on Super Chats. So what I did with my 99 cents is I made it for member chat only. So if I go member chat, you have to pay 99 cents to do that, right? So they're looking at that. And it's just like you're at 6-something, right? So you have a community page.
I finally got a community page when I hit 500.
Have you used it? You use it a lot?
Yeah, I've been promoting, like, Sterling was live the other night. I posted it forward. I don't know if anybody watches my community page, but I posted it to boost it up and say, hey, Sterling's live, come on in, something like that.
Yeah, even if it was going to be like, hey, a couple times, use it to do polls. YouTube also likes interaction, right? You want to pull people that. So poll, hey, what do you guys were thinking about going live? What do you want to talk about? Or just basically certain things that you just want to, statements you want to post, almost like a Twitter feed type thing, right? Just kind of post something on there. Even if it's a news article that you're like, hey, this could affect us, guys, be advised. Or you know what I mean? Or just roll, or even photos. Hey, just rolled through here. It's traffic back to back, and post a photo. It's other ways to be able to get your page out front, that when people scroll, especially pictures, like when I use my community page, one of the big things I do is even if I'm going to post a news article, I post a photo with it, because I want the photo to kind of grab the person's attention so that they click on it and see what the article's about. So even kind of no matter what I do, I basically try to throw some type of visual aspect to the written word. because people like pictures. Pictures
Right.
worth 1,000 words. So
Right.
even if you're using your community page, throw some photo on there with it to grab the attention on, okay, what's this about? Right? Because at first I thought is not going to read the words. It's going to look at the picture and say, okay, what's this about? And then you can kind of read it from there. So that's a big one too, is use your community page and what the options you have for it. And
so, I know probably in the analytics, when you're going in and looking at your numbers, that's tracked, obviously, right? So
correct.
You're seeing how much traffic you're getting from what different thing you're doing.
Correct. And I'm actually gonna well, that way I can look at mine while I'm talking to you guys, go into my numbers and analytics. So the other thing that I did, people are like, oh, he bought all those subscribers. I actually didn't. So what I actually did is I took,
by the way.
What's that? Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations.
What I actually did was when I started to build my channel again, I basically said, hey, how do I build my channel? And I know sales, right? So what I did is I started searching out other YouTubers that I felt my services would benefit what they were doing, right?
Okay.
Would help them benefit. So I found a couple other large YouTubers like Economic Ninja and a couple other ones. And I said, hey, would you be willing to do an interview on my show? I'd like to interview. I'm curious about what you do, how you got here, and I have questions. And I still do it all the time. I'm constantly.
Well, that's really how I came to you. Like, you've got an amazing production, and I don't aspire to get all that going on unless YouTube becomes my main income. But,
right.
It gave me the feeling like, okay, Sage I know that you've already been down this road, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I was like, well, he's obviously got it all figured out. And I know some of the circle has a lot figured out. Some people don't care, and some people just kind of want to grow it, get the numbers up there, right? I know Sterling's really looking to grow his channel some more. So I just thought this would be helpful for all of us, because we all kind of have a question here or there. So I think everybody gets something out of this content today.
Well, the first thing I thought of when you said that, when we talked earlier, the first thing I thought of, and I didn't want to say it because I'd rather say it here, is you said you're looking to build a channel to help females get in trucking. Have you reached out to women in trucking and said, hey, I have a channel. I'm interested in, this is the service I'm looking to provide. Would you guys, is there somebody I can kind of interview or talk to or something about number? Like,
no, I haven't went that far yet, and I'll tell you why. Because I didn't feel mechanically ready to make a nice show until I just got StreamYard. You know what I mean? So I've been trying to kind of play around with stuff and see whatever, so that I'm not fumbling around when this lady has time to come in and interview, right? But definitely that's on my agenda. But I'm still in this mode where I'm trying to make sure I know how to use my tools so we can make a nice
interview. But you have an interesting story, right? You have an interesting story that you could reach out to them and say, hey, I'm starting to use YouTube. I've been doing this. Can I say anything about what your background is? Do they know?
I've made lots of videos of that, and okay. I've spoken about it on other people's lives that have asked me.
Exactly. I have this background. I've come for this. I've decided to do this. If you guys are interested, I would love to come on. If you guys would be willing to, if you wanted someone to be able to give this aspect of basically being thrown into this, running into these problems, how I handled these problems, how I'm handling them from this background. If you guys are interested in, you can throw it because you have something to offer them, right? So it's, you don't have to be, what do they offer me? You have something to offer to them. So a simple email saying, hey, I like what you guys are doing. I'm looking to do the same thing with my YouTube channel. I've got a background in this, this, and this. If you guys are ever looking for an interview or someone to bring on, you'd be welcome to reach out to me. Here's my channel, and my contact information. So you're now reaching that, so now what you're doing is you're giving them something that you can bring to them that they can basically use as content for their channel or their YouTube channel and things like that.
Right.
So that's something that always look at it both ways. What can they offer me? What can I offer them? Perfect. Let's do this. So it's not just about that. So for me, I wanted to interview him because I was curious. And then after that, I said, hey, if there's anything I can do for you. This is my background. This is what I do. Watch a couple of my videos. Let me know. A couple days later, he's like, "You want to come on my show?" I'm like, "Okay."
That's a good idea.
So
I hadn't gotten that far yet.
Right, and it's time, but this is what like I said, this is the stuff if you wanted to do this stuff because you have a journey you're going down, you have you're wanting to do a certain thing. So it's good to reach out to the bigger picture and say, "Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm at. I'm at the starting point here." And if people really want to learn, I might be the person to watch or kind of interview because I do come from an engineering background, and I jumped into this later in life. I was 21 when I jumped driving, you know what I mean? So there could be others with the same,
Yeah, and I'm much later in life making a humongous career change, right?
Correct.
So I know, it's the guys have been more than gracious to have me on and talk a little bit about my story or ask me questions and things like that. I just now, and literally like Wheelburner, I did one live that got like 1,100 views like overnight. It was on a Sunday. It was just a couple Sundays back. And that's like the best performing video that I've ever had. And I didn't do any darn thing except talk about me sitting at a shipper. And then at the same time, Wheelburner happened to mention my channel on his channel. Thank you, Wheelburner, by the way. All these guys in here have been gracious enough to give me a mention, but it was like the next day, I got 72 new subscribers and everybody watched the hell out of that video. And it stumped me because I was like, what? You know what I mean? I didn't intentionally I don't know if it was the mention from Wheelburner, which it probably was, or if it was just Sunday, right at the right time. We did a live and had some coffee online, so I gained, my point is that I gained about 5 or 6 women from that. And that's why I think they may have come from Wheelburner's channel. Because I think he's got more ladies that watch him. So the difficulty at this point has just been like, okay, we're out here. There's ladies have channels, right? And but not a lot of them watch the same guys that we watch, right?
Correct.
So I feel like I need to get to them, right? And we can share stories and all of that, and because all the ladies have lady stories, and that's just that's great, learning all of those. But I gotta get them. So kind of doing better on my channel and being able to learn how to expand the reach and get called up in the search and all that stuff is I feel like I can reach more ladies like that, and then we can try to get them all in and all of that. So the guys have been great about it and helped promote my channel so much, but I know that even they would tell you, like, there's not a lot of women that watch their channel. So the audience I'm trying to help and to reach is still out there, and so I've got to learn how to get in front of them and bring them in and let them know, like, hey, I'm telling the story like a woman in trucking, and I'm showing you, hopefully might be where you might want to go or whatever, and I can just show you what happens out here, and encourage people.
And that's why reaching out to somebody like Women in Trucking is a big deal, because that's their name, right? So that's a bigger audience of people. They would know where to also hopefully put you out there, and things like that. So that's an avenue I would look at if I was in that same situation.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's exactly what I should do. I need to reach out more, like actually jump in there.
And like I said, it's email or I use Twitter, things like that.
I mean, comments, right? We all read our comments, and so I can drop comments. And ask them to get back with me. That's fine. And
a big thing you want to do is what I also do is when you're looking at somebody's YouTube channel, if you just leave a comment, they may or may not see it. Okay. But if you find a comment that they replied on and you reply to their comment, their name is going to come up in front of that. Is it, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can just click through.
That when you type something there, that should pop directly up into their notifications. That one
I
will,
get mine that way.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I normally do, bad phone.
I'm gonna read comments for a second, Sage. Nevada Trucking Trails is in the house. Thanks for coming in. Jay Cordova Trucking is in the house, and Adam Bennett. Thanks for coming in, you guys. Oh, and Adam says bye. I think he left. Mark the Mailman is in the house. Thanks for coming in, Mark. We're talking about YouTube tips and tricks. Sage is dropping some gems about little things that we can do to structure our YouTube channels a little better, and maybe reach some more people and get these subscribers up, right? So I figured this would be a good topic since all of us have a channel, and we can probably use all the little tips and tricks that we can get a hold of, because it's not like we have a lot of time to study and figure all this stuff out, right? So I'm just trying to bring some meat to the table here. Trucking with T-Bone is in the house. Good morning, Trucking with T-Bone. Edgewood 66 Transport is my lady. She is in the house. We're just talking about getting ladies involved and getting connected with more ladies too. Adam Bennett left us, I think. So yeah, I hope this helps. Sterling sticks out in my mind because I know he's trying to build his subscribers, and Jerome Jones is in the house. Sorry, I missed that one.
Sorry about that. I had to run downstairs.
That's all right. And then who else was I thinking of? This Trucking Life. I know that he's trying to build his subs too. So I think for all of us, this is really good info, guys. And Will Burner Express, he's got a great following, but I'm sure we're going to have some good information for you too, sir.
Yeah. So the other thing is like, so once I did that, I basically said, okay, I started to reach out to a lot of other people. I probably, I don't even know, maybe 20 people a week I'm still reaching out to try to get on the shows, or ask them to come on my show and interview them and things like that. What
about guys that maybe aren't the interview people, right? What about some info for like something like that where you just want to do the videos and maybe
okay.
Not do it?
So a big thing with the videos too now is going to be the first thing you want to do. One is what's your content, right? So the video that you put out, the first 30 seconds of retention time is key. So what they'll suggest that you do is do something. That's why you'll see like an intro, and then they'll say, okay, we're going to talk about blah, blah, blah. Check it out. And then they'll do a 10-second intro, and then they'll go into the video. Okay? Because that first 30 seconds, if you're going to edit, you want to grab them and throw a picture, something to keep them sitting there and not click off your video after 30 seconds. YouTube loves retention time. How do you keep them in the seat? YouTube wants them to continue to watch. Right. So that's where you'll see people will start to talk, and then they'll throw some type of picture or article or clip, and then they'll talk for a little bit more. Then they'll throw another picture, because each picture pins people down for a second or two. That they might not click off.
Right. Yeah, I think it's just as long as it's still moving, right? It's keeping interest.
Correct. So YouTube's analytics love that retention time. After about 8 to 10 minutes, people get the point of things, and they'll say, okay, I get the point, and they'll click off. And we're all, if you think about it, that's people want to know what's going on, and they'll click off. So early on, to try to get people to either decide if they like you or not, which either you love me or you hate me, either way, your first video is trying to get to your 1,000 should be that shorter paced stuff, what you're putting out. Maybe not as much like 30 or 40 or 50 minute videos, and then live. So lives build connection with people. Content, recorded content puts people in the seats to want to see you live, want to ask you more questions. And then live builds the connection.
It's maybe like a attention grabber commercials per se, right? To draw attention to the videos that you're doing. And then the lives to actually maybe touch your subscribers, right? So now you can actually converse and build relationship.
Correct.
In a different way.
And that's what, because you'll have a lot of people that'll do videos that are educational videos that people watch for the education and the fact of what they're doing. And then if they do a live, they don't get a lot of interaction with the people because they don't do another live for people to want to know if they want to listen to the person just talking or if they're there just to learn what the person's teaching. That makes sense?
Because some conversations and interviews are of none of their interest, or if it's just people BSing in the room, you might be a person for that. And to sit around, like I like to watch it because I'll be driving and I'm kind of just listening, fly on the wall type deal, right? So
right.
A lot of people like to watch the longer conversations and just hang out in there. And then some people don't want to have no interest in that. They want to get to whatever they're looking after to learn. And
correct.
Focus video, right?
So if it's something that if you're vlogging, basically just telling what you're doing and what your day was like and things like that, that connection, you're also going to want to go live because your goal is to build a connection with those people with the vlog. If you're education or you're doing a little bit of both, like a lot of times you have a whole report of things that could have been being recorded right now with your repair bill, right?
Yeah.
How it started. This is what happened. This is how it got started. You could have been doing shorts long over the fact that you've been sitting for how long now? A week?
Yeah, just about a week now. But I mean, I've been making periodic updates. Now, what I would say is, usually it's like lately I've been doing lives because I'm just not mentally like just want to make a video, but I've done it, right? So I've made an update and I put an update video on there, right? But then we continued with just going live, and then my closer subscribers that come in with me all the time, like I gave them the update. I didn't specifically do a short like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened now, it's gonna be 3 days longer, like and then draw that to the video, like, okay guys, here what happened. And maybe that would be a better structure, but I'm just like, you know what guys, I just gotta talk to you, so
exactly.
But,
and even then, you can take a part of a video and clip it, cut it out, and make a 10-minute video, make a 5-minute video. Like parts that you felt, man, that was really good.
Okay.
You can go back and say, that was a really good section. We talked about a really good topic there, and you can cut it and make it, because somebody might not want to watch a 2-hour live stream, but they might want to watch the conversations that you were having with somebody, right?
Yeah, because I wished that, because I don't know how to do it yet. Okay, but RN was in the live chat with me, right? And dropping some really valuable, interesting learning facts about clutches, right? Us girls don't really know about clutch education and all that, but it was so good what he was teaching in that moment. And I was like, man, I really wish I could pull that out, And
so if you're using StreamYard will record your stuff. So if you go to past, you would go to that video and you could download it. Okay.
And then I can flip it up.
From downloader, you cut that section, cut the beginning, cut the end, and just you can go to places like I use Video Bolt, VIDO Bolt.
I have Filmora. I'm trying Filmora out.
Okay. Yeah, so Video Bolt is nice because I can make like intros and outros. I can do a lot of the stuff that I do for like the music or stuff that I play. I can add the music to it, and those could be made there. I could probably type this in there if anybody cares. But I found that video, it's VIDEO Bolt. But that's basically a good place that I can make. Like I said, it makes a lot. Intros, outros, you plop in pictures you want, you add the music you want, you can tweak it. Now it costs money, but it's that's the one I use for my intros, my outros, things like that. So
let me ask you about end cards and intros and end cards and their effectiveness on getting your content.
So, okay, one of the things I'm guilty of not doing that I'm going to probably start doing is chapters. People like chapters, and they like that being broken up so they can see what part they want to go and what areas they want to go. But people are, they're only going to go to that video Actually, they don't. A lot of times what they'll do is they will actually watch more of your video because there might be 2 or 3 sections they want to watch rather than just one, you know what I mean? Oh, I want to listen to this one and this one. You actually get a little bit more time. So chapter thing I've just started kind of diving into and researching a lot into is one, but I do the at the end. Oh God, I'm drawing a blank what it's called. When it puts the video up in my little circle. I do that on like I try to do that.
Isn't that the end card?
Yes, end card. Ooh, I was drawing a blank there. So I do the end card probably like I try to do it at least like every other video or something. I don't do it on every single one because sometimes people just, you know, they don't want to see that on everyone, or there's something there they wanted to see at the end. So a lot of times what I do is I'll put the end card on like every other video, or a video that I know there's not going to be something that it's going to be blocking. If there's something it's going to be blocking that, you know, I don't put it up there. But it helps. Like I said, it's something that eventually some person might want to, because you can also pick what video goes there. It might be a video that,
you know, I've seen that on Dr. Eric Berg. I watched Dr. Eric Berg. He's got a fantastic system. Everything he's got going on, man, it's incredible. But he is a wealth of knowledge and information, right? And so you can look up whatever you got issues with, and he's got content on it. And so I noticed as of late, he'll do a shorter video of a piece of the subject, and then he says, and so hey, if your blood sugar is high, you might want to watch this, right? And then he promotes his next video. So that's a great idea, and so that's the end card. So you can direct traffic from this video or you know, to something else. Like if I say, hey, because a lot of people come on and they'll say, how's dart going? Or it's the same questions over and over again, right? Or how did you get started? Or, you know, what was your worst day or whatever, right? I've got videos for that. So instead of repeating the same information, you know, I thought that would be a nice way where I can show you like, hey, this is, if you're interested in how I got started, click this video, and then it'll take you back in my video list where you can kind of start from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody new to my channel is not going to understand or necessarily want to like take the time to figure out where it is that I came from, right? So I thought that'd be a good way to promote within. And kind of, because then I get people on the journey with me, like, right? Like now you see a video, my beginning video from 6 months where I was like, yeah, I just got my new truck, blah, 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 whatever. And then I feel like that would be a good engagement thing to do as well. So that was very interesting because what I watched Dr. Berg do with it, I find myself like, oh my gosh, then I got to learn that. And yeah, I want to know that next thing, right? And he's got them connected so well. So if you're suffering with a thyroid condition and you need to learn to eat right because of your thyroid condition, he's going to take you to that next video, right? So he strings everything together, and it's really powerful. So
you brought up a couple of good points. So one good point is like I do part 1, part 2, part 3. Like I've got a 3-part series, and I've got 1 part left of an interview that I did with Shi Van Fleet about communist China. So when I end the one, I'll say, hey, if you missed part 1, go back and check it here, and then I'll put part 1 on there, right, just in case. The other thing is, remember, as you guys grow, as YouTubers grow, a lot of people aren't going to go back and watch what you did a year ago or 6 months ago. So don't be afraid to redo a video again that you did 6 or 7 months ago, because new people are not going to go back and see that. So even if it was a topic that you went over something before, and if you get a chance to do it a little differently or do it again, because there's going to be new people to your channel that might not have seen what you did the last time, and they're going to be seeing that for the first time. And you might find another way of doing it that basically it was more entertaining because you've now got better at what you're doing to make that even a better video than when you did it 6-7 months ago. And that a lot of YouTubers are like, I already covered this. Why didn't you know? I've already covered. Well, you've got a lot of new people, and they're watching you from the point they found you forward, and they don't, you know what I mean? So that's something that I tell a lot of YouTubers to go back and try to do is, if you've got something that was interesting back then, redo it, same topic, new way. And it's not.
Yeah,
It's
because
just.
I've got
It's
JB Hunt, right? I started with my JB Hunt journey,
Mhm.
and now I'm no longer a company driver, but I know that there's a million people coming on to JB Hunt all the time, and don't know what the rails look like, right? And especially females, right? That's really good content that I would like to draw more attention to, because I got some really good footage, and still being able to use that content over and over again,
Right.
So to refresh it, because it still is important content, because that's kind of a niche thing, it's tough to find information on it if you're a woman trying to come into it.
Absolutely, and you can start this by saying, "Hey guys, if you're just joining me, I want all the new subscribers. I want to I want to thank you for joining me. But once upon a time, I was back with JB Hunt and back at JB Hunt, and then you can kind of now go back to that video, and you can say you can return back to that, right? You can kind of then do that type of feel to it, like long time ago, and kind of bring.
And I think that's really cool, because I know that even Nevada's channel, right? Nevada has done instructionals and done stuff on IFTA and things like that, and now he's out booking his own loads, right? So I think that would be something that would be useful for him too, because he's got I think he's got an audience of a lot of newer people or
Correct.
team members and things like that, and so it's a really cool thing. It's just a matter of figuring it out, but to realize what it is, because I'll be honest, like I got the suggestions and I look up the YouTube stuff, and they're like, make sure you use end cards, and I'm like, what the hell's an end card, and why would I use that, right? So it took me some time to even figure out the answer to that question.
Yeah.
But I've been watching it the whole time on other channels. I didn't realize the terminology of what it was,
Right.
So once my light bulb went off, I was like, oh, that's what it's called, right?
Yeah, even he could do it, like you said, with Nevada. He could do a video. Now I'm telling him what to do, but he could do a video that says, "Hey, I'm booking my own loads now, and this is great. But at one time, guys, I used to run under a dispatcher. So let me explain how I did that when I was running under a dispatcher, and some benefit, some type of tips I can give you into working with a dispatcher." Now he might have already done that video, but now he's doing it from the aspect of he's moved on from that. But at one time, he used to do it. And it can he can kind of go back into it and explain, and some of the things he might have either missed or made it even a better video. And I think a lot of YouTubers have to realize that channels are growing, and they're not. And so if you think that you've done something a year ago and people are going to go back and watch it, they're not. So just redo it.
They're not. And so a lot, even the drama channels, right? We see reaction videos of something that happened in somebody's live the other night, right?
Right.
So even those, hey, if you want to know what happened, click here, right?
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times I'm like, what the hell happened? I'll be texting Nevada like, what the hell happened? What did I miss? Like, I wasn't there,
Correct. And this is stuff, like I said, absolutely. I mean, this is the stuff that, like I said, that type of thing. So the other things we'll talk about real quick too, because I want to make sure everybody understands this. And you can find this on YouTube. So if you're doing fair use content reaction videos, right? Because people seem to be a little bit confused on this. So under fair use law, okay? Now, anybody can go ahead and put in a copyright strike. Now, I would go ahead and fight that copyright strike, and I'd say, nope, it's fair use. I'm going to go ahead and fight it. Well, you have 10 days to take me to court. I think it's 10 days. Let me check on it. I'll correct it in the bond there. But you have so many days to take me to court. If you don't take me to court, YouTube puts it back up. Like, YouTube doesn't fight copyright claims. They'll strike you for community guidelines. I just found that out. But they don't fight copyright claims. That goes to a court. So if the person's like, well, I'm not going to take them to court over $6, then that video is going to go back up. And you're welcome to find this. If you go into YouTube, there's a YouTube video explaining this, that YouTube actually did the video under frequently asked questions about copyright. So just so everybody knows, I can do a video, you can put a claim in, I can say, nope, that's fair use, and now we have to go to a court, not a YouTube court, but a court, a real court, and you have to technically sue me for me to take it down. So understand that copyright is not something YouTube fights. They just inform me that somebody has a claim. I say, nope, it's not a claim. I fight it. My video goes back up, unless they take me to court and the court tells me to take it down. So
okay, so let me stop you right there. Explain to us what that means. Like, is this when we have music playing on the radio while we're doing a video? Is this mean that we're trying to, what does that mean?
So what that basically means, like if you do radio playing on the music, that's a different copyright. Like those people have filed copyrights for that music. Like my image has a copyright. I actually filed a copyright for my image. I have paperwork on it.
I can put it on my background and use it too, right?
You could use it yours. I could easily go to YouTube and say, here's my paperwork. I win. I already have court. So like when somebody does a music one, right? A music one, that music, and Snortler would know with music, the music one is copyrighted through producers. They've gone to that step to actually copyright it. Or you can avoid copyright claims as much as possible. You could, but that would be no fun. So those people are actually putting in. So YouTube could, so like when I used somebody's music who was copyrighted, he had to send me a release from this that I had to put into the YouTube system that said, I got a release for this music. And he sent me this.
You're allowed to use it, right?
Correct, anytime, which means I was allowed to use it. And I went ahead and used it. But I asked him for it. I said, hey, I'd like to use your music. I'm like, is there any way you can send me the release? He sent me a letter saying, yep, go ahead and use it. YouTube's like, that's not good enough. I had to actually have his producers or lawyers or whoever send me the permission link to be able to use it. Now,
because they probably own the rights ultimately.
Correct. They own the rights. There's actual paperwork filed. It's here you go. Here's the copyright. We win. But so when you're monetized, a lot of times you have a couple options. One option is they say, no, you can't use this at all. It's been copyrighted. It's ours. And they take the video down. The other thing they'll do is they'll put a little red under your monetization that basically says you can't make any money on it, but the owner of the music's going to make all the money that you made for playing this. So, and then YouTube will give you an option to say, well, I'll cut that clip out. Right? Now, again, I do suggest anybody go to YouTube, go under frequently asked questions, type in copyright, and they have videos and things explaining how this works. But a lot of times that
I have another question just on this note. So because TikTok, like I see videos all the time where somebody's singing the song, right, or whatever. Mm-hmm. There's a specific, I think there's like some specific songs you can use that are free to use if the program allows it for you to choose from them. But I've seen so many where people are just like kicking on some music in their car and they're singing the song and they make a little TikTok out of it or whatever. So
it's
the same rules apply music to those people.
TikTok, I don't know about. I think TikTok how they're enforcing that. I have no idea. I don't really do TikTok, so I have no idea how they're enforcing it. They might not care, and they're letting everything be handled by courts. I have no idea how their rules are applied. I do know.
A trucker gal just popped in. She said YouTube's taking away all the fun. Like she knows that's why I was like, because girls just like to do that stuff. So it's like, man, because I feel like it's adding something just fun, right? Just fun stuff. And gosh, now it's all legal and complicated.
Yeah, and like I said, music is a different thing because a lot of like Snorler said, the artist of the music might have legal copyrights in place for that music, right? So they can easily come here and say, nope, I have a legal copyright for this, right? And that's different.
So basically, we can agree, if we get an agreement with them and agree that they make their couple cents every time we use their song, then everything's kudos, right? Like everything's okay.
Like you could go to Snorlord. You could go to Snorlord and say, Snorlord, can I use your music? And if he has the rights to that music, he can let you use his music. Now, if he has producers,
but then it's only fair that he makes a whatever his cut is, right, off of
sure.
Like he's the artist. Well, the artist gets paid for every time royalties or whatever, right?
Sure. A lot of times what they'll do is they'll say, hey, just make sure you mention my name of who the artist is in your video. So like I have, I got an artist. So it's artist.io is for music. So you go to artist.io and there's a lot of music you can get there, right? So if I want various songs and a bunch of stuff there. So I buy a license to be able to use that. Some of the license say you have to put the name of the artist in the description so that they can find the artist. Or if somebody says, hey, who's the artist? I jump on that big time. I'll jump on that and say, well, the artist is blah, 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 blah. And the name of the song is blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the publisher makes the money off the ads. So a lot of times artists will just say, no big, like Snorlord. Snorlord says, hey, you can use my music. If you ask him, he says, you can use my music. Just make sure you credit me or the band in the description.
So what happens when you break that rule?
Like okay, so if you're doing a fair use video, so if you're doing a fair use video, like I've had it happen a couple times where they're like, hey, this is copyrighted, you can't use this. I covered something. I covered Rebecca Cohen on the Huckabee show, whatever his name is, the governor, ex-governor, and they copyrighted me. They threw a copyright strike on me. So I went into you can go in there and you can basically fight it, right? It'll say appeal. So I went into the appeal and I said, no, this is fair use under U.S. code, and I typed all the U.S. code in there, and I said it's for criticizing and stuff like that, and I clicked submit. It took like 2 days, and it came back that I won because they weren't going to take me to they weren't going to take me to court over it. They reviewed it, they saw that it was fair use, and it was good to go. So fair use is something that
what exactly?
Fair use is,
how do you know if something's fair use or not?
Okay, so there's an actual fair use is actually a U.S. code. Let me pull up the actual U.S. code. So what fair use basically does is it allows people to use clips or portions of the video for certain for certain reasons. USE, fair use code.
Says the Metalhead Viking Caveman Trucker says the publisher makes the money off the ads. Nevada says music subscription is easiest way to use music.
Absolutely, 100%. So fair use basically says if you are committed upon critiquing. Okay, so if you are commenting upon or critiquing a copyright work, for instance, writer of a book review, fair use purposes allow you to reproduce some of the work to achieve your purposes. Some examples are quoting a few lines. All right, let me go when they go into the reasons. Parody or criticism. Most fair use falls under two categories: commentary, criticism, or parody. And this is kind of where Weird Al Yankovic used to do parody, obviously.
Right.
Right. And this is basically, those are the purposes of technically of the fair use. Now, it is completely different than a community guideline strike. Community guideline strike is you broke YouTube rules, not legal rules, right? So YouTube can make their own rules as they go and can determine that. Like I just got a strike for promoting bad things. I won't say the word just in case. And they've decided.
You're keeping it such a mystery. Like I still don't know what happened to you.
No, all right. So I did a video in regards to disinformation, and I got pretty heated over it. And it was about basically Russian disinformation all the way back from the 1980s. And I played another video. That was fine, but I got kind of heated in the video and basically said that, hey, if you're putting out misinformation or disinformation or blatantly lying to steal from people, I'm gonna call your show out. I don't care who you are. And they took that as promoting mean things. Let's put it that way. So they basically said you're promoting mean things because you said you would go after people that blah blah blah. But they don't tell you what you actually did wrong or where you did it. They just say, hey, go check your video and figure it out yourself. I'm like, I'm not going to figure it out myself. I don't care.
They're just slapping wrists all over the place.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
So now I've got other means to stream. So I've got Twitch, I've got Vimeo, which I pay about $1,000 a year for Vimeo. But those videos, I can put whatever I want up, and if you complain, your complaint comes to me, and I can tell you where to put it. But besides that, it's just so I've got other things I'm going to be doing to make sure that doesn't happen again. But that's kind of down the road for you guys.
Okay.
So
when are you off suspension so that everybody can
like I think next Tuesday or Wednesday, because they hit me at 11:36 at night on Tuesday, right after I did my railroad interview. It just so happens they hit me then.
So for those of you that want to get access to Sage, now is the time.
Exactly. Now's the time if you guys want to run your, pick on me or do whatever you want. So.
Hi, Snorlord. Welcome.
Hey. My phones are blowing up. I can't make this long, but I wanted to clarify a few things. So on my older videos where I use music, let's say I use an Iron Maiden or Metallica song, the publisher that owns that music. So what happens is the digital tags pop up, YouTube detects it. And so the publisher that owns the rights to that music, if you look at any album, you'll see the publisher who actually owns the rights to music.
Right.
Like, for example, Michael Jackson actually owned the rights to all the Beatles music because he bought the publishing company.
Okay.
So what happens is, let's say I use a Metallica song. Well, their publisher will tag my video and say, "Hey, this is our music. We get the ad revenue. He's okay to use it, so it's a copyright claim."
Correct.
And then but I won't get any ad revenue at all. And so I could have 100 subscribers and not be monetized, but my video will have an ad on it, and that ad revenue will go towards Metallica's publishing company. Now, if the publishing company decides, you know what, I hate that guy, we don't want anybody using our stuff. Disney is notorious for that.
Yes.
They will give you a copyright strike, which is different. If you get too many of those, your YouTube channel's done. So you have to be careful when using copyrighted music, even if it's fair use and all that. If the publisher doesn't want it out there, they don't want it out there. Especially with all these streaming services, a lot of people will put up a movie for free on YouTube, and if the publishing company or the studio that owns the rights to that movie, if they see that, they'll demand YouTube to take that video down, especially if it's part of a streaming service. Why would I pay for Netflix when I can watch the movie for free on YouTube? So they're really sensitive about that. But you have to know the difference between copyright claim and copyright strike. Copyright strike affects your channel. If you get 3, you're done. You're out. Doesn't matter how big your channel is.
Okay.
The community guidelines, when it comes to bullying, talking about other YouTubers and stuff like that, that's a huge gray area. But when you show somebody's video, like what happened with Sage, and do that, and a lot of YouTubers do that, that's where you're on the fine line. So, but I just wanted to come on here and talk about the differences of copyright claim to copyright strike when it comes to publishing.
Yeah, but also the fact that somebody who has a movie has already copyrighted their movie.
Right.
Okay, so that's in court. That's been in court. It's been a process that has been copyrighted. Okay, another YouTuber playing has not copyrighted his YouTube video. That's where it falls under fair use. So if I grab if I grab a movie like The Matrix and I start playing it, that has already gone to court to be copyrighted. Somewhere, some lawyer has copyrighted it. And that's where, like I said, fair use between other YouTubers, unless you go out and copyright your YouTube video, that's where you get fair use. And that's where, and you're welcome to watch the YouTube video from YouTube that explains this. You can basically play that video for either parody, commentary, or criticism under fair use. And then they can throw a strike in, and then you can rebuttal it. You could go ahead and, say, nope, I don't think so. And then YouTube is not a court. It has to go to court to establish who's right and who's wrong. So there's a difference between copyrighted music, which already has gone, and a YouTube video. Like if I were to air Snorlord's video, he didn't copyright that. I can talk over it. I can do that. And then YouTube's going to come in and say, hey, this guy's using your video. What do you want to do about it? And he's welcome. And then he has to take me to a court to make me take it down.
Right. So I always suggest doing that for people that you know that won't have an issue with that, but it still makes it hard on the monetization. You're not to the monetization yet, Shannon.
Right.
Now, as far as your question about people that use TikToks and copyrighted music, like on shorts and reels,
I have no idea TikTok.
So my music, Atmia's music, is on Spotify. The person that put that on Spotify is actually the publisher that owns the music. You know, I use that in quotations because I literally paid him to do the service to put it on Spotify, iTunes, and all that. Now, because it's on this digital stream, not this digital service, because basically it's a one-stop shop. You know, I forget the name of the service, but it puts it on all the iTunes, Spotify, YouTube Music, and it makes it accessible for people to use it on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or whatever. But they can't monetize off of it. So, you know, if I get 1 million streams from Spotify, I don't actually get that money. The person gets that. The person that put that up gets the money. So when you do a TikTok and you're using music, if it's available to the person doing the TikTok, then what happens is the publisher still gets that money if it generates anything, but you just can't monetize. So if you're doing a YouTube short and you use that music, you just can't monetize off that YouTube short. So, so like what I found is that if YouTube can't make any money off of it, they don't push it as hard. That's why when a new channel comes out, once you hit 1,000 and you get the requirements to monetize your channel, then that kind of bumps you up on how much they're going to push you and all that, because they want to make money off of you. You know, there was a time that if you're under 1,000 subs, they didn't even put ads on your video. Now they do.
Well, and you couldn't go live either, right? Now they open the gate. You know,
right.
You had to have 1,000 subs to go live even.
Right. So, but I just wanted to, and you have to know the difference between copyright claim and copyright strike. I get copyright claims all the time because of the music I use in my older videos. But and sometimes they take like instant, and sometimes like a year later I'll get a copyright claim from the video you upload. I look at the email and it's like, well, crap, I did that a year ago. So, but it means I don't get any money. And what sucks is that one of my top cooking in the truck videos, I used copyrighted music, and that seems to be the one that took off, that I'm not getting any monetization over. But the publisher that owns the band's music is getting that, and I'm fine with that because they're a good band and they deserve it. But copyright claims and strikes, they could easily one can turn into the other, and so I just try to avoid the situation altogether. So
best practice, just to be general, right, for the general YouTuber, then we want to stick to what's just to add a little melody to, just to make it for entertaining, nothing serious, but what's the easiest something you can use to just add a little music?
YouTube's got their music, right? But there are subscription services that give you basically the rights to the songs that you can use.
Okay.
So where it doesn't affect your monetization.
About, right? Is
that and a lot of them will will say, hey, you got to leave a link, but you got to be careful with that because it might still create a copyright claim. And so like Tex Crowley, he does a lot of really good videos that require music. He'll pay like $100-something a year just to use the rights to certain songs. And so as an artist myself, I can get on this subscription. That way people will use my song. So if a video goes viral, I'm getting my cut from the distribution service, but also it makes people interested in the band. I wonder who this band was. I wonder who this group was.
Right,
They're
because you're
people
getting the
that
exposure.
specifically, huh?
You're getting the exposure that way too.
Right.
That's kind of what you get out of it, right?
Right. And so when it comes to the subscription services, they're supposed to be doing their due diligence and paying the bands and the artists for access to that stuff. So,
Okay.
so I know a YouTuber, Salty Pirate. He did a video that went viral, and he used a recorded song by, I forget what the country artist. It was a very touching video. Freight Waves posted it. Bunch of like these big trucking magazines posted it. It got his sub count way up where he can monetize, but it never really took off for his channel, and his channel still stayed stagnant. But he just had that one viral video, and so sometimes the music can help, but it may not help enough to add to your subscribers.
Right.
So I don't know if that makes any sense, but
I really didn't understand the laws of, the copyright and the strikes and all these things that they can slap. I've heard you guys talk about, that you don't want to say this, you don't want to do that, so trying to understand, like, okay, what am I going to get in trouble for and what am I not,
Well,
even being careful, because we even be careful what the words we say, right? So just for the YouTubers understanding what that means, and
right?
what you can't do.
Well, here's the deal. So this is how I created my name on YouTube. Okay. The name Stoller came from some old bandmates of mine because, I had sleep apnea. And so
It's not funny. It's crazy.
I started to get into the trucking YouTubers, and that's right when YouTube started the partnership program, the early stage of monetization. So a lot of these big time YouTubers like Ike Stevens, Tex Crowley, Eskimo Sean, Trucker Steve, all those people that are basically the forefathers of what we do, they had to get rid of all their copyrighted music and find original music. So what I would do is I would contact all these people and say, hey, I've got copyright free music. I'm the one that owns the rights. It won't tag you on anything. My stuff's not available digitally. And so that's how I entered this whole trucking YouTube circle. When I first started driving, hey, I've got music. I've got, now of course it's blasting death metal, so not a whole lot of people took me up on it, but Pale Rider did. And that's how we know each other. But because my music was appealing. So if you know a local artist that hasn't put their stuff on any digital platform as far as like streaming services or anything like that, then you can use that music and it won't tag you, and you can monetize without fear of copyright claim or strikes. So that's a little trick.
Okay.
Right.
So what generally, for the guys that just kind of want to keep a general channel, what can you suggest that can help? That's like the easier things that can help boost or get out there a little bit. I know you said titles, the things that are just kind of general, like what you want to look at right off the bat. Like so Sage, guys in the chat, like Sage suggested downloading TubeBuddy. So I did that yesterday, and so that analyzes your channel, and it gives you the suggestions and things like that. It was very helpful, and it's pretty general. So that was a help to me, and I actually went through the thing, and then I spent some hours working on my channel and making all the little tweaks, right, that I didn't really realize. So that is free to download. I'll put a link in the description later, but it helped without getting too like crazy scientific and into buying big software or whatever. But it also helps you as you go, make suggestions for keywords and things like that to help you, kind of get used to doing things that can help you grow your audience. So that was helpful for me last night. But what can you say just generally for people to really like initially start looking at that they can change today that might reach them out there a little bit more.
So in my opinion, like Big Rig CEO, I helped him in the beginning of his channel. And so consistency, Google wants to see a good work ethic. Eric will agree with me on this, right?
Yeah, in the beginning, they want to see that. Yep.
Also, find the circle of people, whether it's within the trucking universe and elsewhere, and join in the chats, make comments on the recorded videos. Hey, great video, thanks for the info or something like that. And people will see your name. People see your name pop up. That's essentially what I did. And then super chats help. It highlights your name. You could have a chat of 500 people, and if you just put $2 up and say, great content, thanks for this, that puts your name out there. People are like curious. Oh, I'm see what this is about. That helps, and consistency. So don't rely just on live feeds. There's only a few YouTubers that can get away with that, but it's not. It won't build over time.
Yeah, it doesn't really boost your subscribers, right?
So pick a 5-minute recorded video. You can put what I call 10 in the bank, right? You make 10 videos, you put them in the bank, and you schedule the releases one a day. And it could be something as simple as, hey, this is what I'm eating today. And then look to other YouTubers that are doing great, like Nevada, how he titles things, how he's doing his thumbnails. Trucker Gal, she's got things going right. I'm trying to think. Stuart does pretty good. Just look at the successful channels and look at what they're doing. Look at Cash is King in DIY. Cash is King has built his channel up pretty good. He does the thumbnails. He talks about the topics. He does the clickbaity titles. Hey, what did I make this week? He shares his numbers. And
yeah, and he's
are very
his
curious.
Thumbnails are so hilarious, right?
Right. and people in Trucker Gal can agree. People are curious about female truck drivers, and they want to see. It's weird, things that we take for granted, like dropping, hooking a trailer, or backing into a spot. You think, well, this is something that we see and do every day. That's not interesting, but it is to some people, because when you go to a truck show, you learn that a lot of people that aren't truck drivers watch trucking YouTubers because they're curious about our industry, or they wanted to be truck drivers when they were kids and never did it. I mean, or they're living vicariously through us, right? And so that's why Ice Road Truckers was History Channel's #1 show, because people are curious about the industry. And so things that we take for granted, things that we wouldn't think are interesting, might be if it's a 3 or 4 minute video of you dropping a trailer, or unhooking your airlines, or anything like that. And so, I mean, just know the analytics, know your taglines. And
You mentioned the description, right? What should we be doing in the descriptions to help?
First line of your description is your most important information line. YouTube reads that as your most important. I always if I've got a good title, I always copy my title and paste it into the first line of your description line. That's your key one. It will double your SEO, usually, depending if you already have, but it will definitely give you more SEO points. That's huge. Like right here, you put #Sage. I would put @Sage, so that they know
I wasn't sure which one you actually use. So
I would do @Sage. Sage could be a bunch of different Sage, you know what I mean? But would be this, you know what I mean?
That takes it right to your.
That'll also take me to my channel, and it also, anybody that searches me, this might come up.
Okay, I didn't understand the difference, so thanks for clearing that up.
Definitely, the description line will double your SEOs. If you've got a great title, and I would use YouTube Buddy to kind of determine your title. But if you pay for YouTube Buddy, I think it's like $9 a month, or I can't remember how much it is.
I just got it for like $47 for the year. You can cancel anytime.
Yeah, so one of the things it does, which is a huge thing first level is tags. You can go down and it'll give you relative tags that'll look at what your video is about by your title, and it'll give you reference other tags to put in each video. And all you have to do is click on them, and it throws them in there. And then you click save. And that's a huge deal because those tags will boost that search engine, which is SEO is search engine optimization. It will boost big time. So that's why I like the TubeBuddy, because I don't want to figure out what tags are the best. I'd rather let it tell me what are good tags, and it'll rate the tags like 100, 90, 95, and that's a big one.
Content's important, right, Shannon? So here's what the advantage you got right now. Okay, if you're on the spot market, booking your own freight, you could easily do a video a day. Hey, today I was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I called about 5 or 6 brokers, was able to book this load. I negotiated this way, and we're going to deliver tomorrow in, Aurora, Illinois. And then you hashtag that with the spot market, with the trucking, with all of that. People are really curious about the spot market. People are really curious about, I don't think that in our whole space, there's no female trucker that's running the spot market talking about it other than Nevada's wife.
I didn't realize that. I didn't even think about that. You know what I mean? I never really thought that was anything. Well, that's one thing I took for granted. Like, it's like, okay, this is what I'm doing, and this is my challenges. But the conversations
that you and I have had on the phone, like when you told me that you went from X amount to X amount from one week to the next, that would have been a great 4 or 5 minute video about how you're learning the system.
Yeah.
Just talking to the camera like you are now. So little things like that, and then networking with the right people. I see you in Jeff's feed. I see you in my feed. I see you in Pale Rider's feed, and everybody's feed that we're in the circle. So that's working out for you. So I mean, a female truck driver working the spot market, owning her own truck. I mean, that's gold for you too, right now.
Yeah.
Because if people
and I got a story behind it,
right?
If people want to genuinely like you, they will. You can today I couldn't find crap for loads, so I OD'd on ravioli and Diet Coke, and people will still find that interesting because they want to see struggle, they want to see learning, they want to see the good with the bad. They don't want to be all fake and say this is the most perfect thing I've ever done. You don't want to do that either. You want to be real. You want to be yourself, but at the same time, use that to your advantage. And right now, there's nobody else. Trucker Gal's got the workout thing going on. I don't know what company she's with now, but she was with CFI. The CFI drivers on YouTube tend to do pretty good, just like Prime drivers do, because people are curious about those companies. So that's something else you can do. You can put #Dart.
I've actually used Dart lease purchase in a lot of my titles, like especially when I was just getting the truck and things like that, because hoping to grab some of that too. And even now, I got to the point where like I think I'm just becoming that, like I'm promoting Dart, like I'm a big, Dart girl or whatever. And although I want to use it to my advantage, I don't want to make myself that person, right? But I do want people to know that, hey, if you are looking for somebody who's making it happen out here, you know what I mean? I don't want it to take away from what my channel's for, because it's really about...
You can use your company's name without looking like a recruiter. I did that with Schneider.
Okay.
I do that with I did it with Landstar too. I think I got like $200 in recruitment money on Landstar, but you can do that without looking like a recruiter, because you're utilizing the name. Because people don't like Google like trucking or YouTube like trucking. They Google Schneider, they Google Prime. People that are entering the industry. You want to.
Dart happens to be one that there's not a lot of information. It's very hard to find good a lot of good information about Dart or a lot of information about what Dart's doing, because they're not in the social media game yet. Like they're not like keeping up with the other companies putting themselves out there. Like they're just not.
Right.
So even when I was trying to do research, it was very hard for me to find somebody that I could like hang on to and be like, okay, they're doing this right now and this is how it goes and stuff like that. So I want to put that information out there for new Dart drivers as well, but I don't want to become the recruiter, you know.
No,
So
you can do it without being a recruiter. I mean, I did that with Landstar. I was one of only 3 YouTubers that were talking about Landstar back in the day, and that's what helped build my channel.
So did you title it? So did you title it or did you hashtag it?
Landstar Life was the name of my blog.
Okay.
And when I left Landstar, I was talking to the truckers table, and I told them, start using Landstar Life in the hashtag. I don't care, because all my Landstar videos are gone except for one, and it's worked. It's worked for him too. So, you know, you can use that in the title. You can use that in the description. If you look at my channel and what's been the most viewed, you know, that's the other thing. Go to my channel, go to Nevada's channel, go to Trucker Gal's channel, and look at their highest viewed videos. I think you can filter that and look how they're titled, look how their hashtag, look how they're do that with anybody's. Look how they're, you know, take someone like Cash is King or DIY. Look and see what's hashtag. Look and see what the thumbnail looks like. Look and see what the topic was.
And you also want to do what's trending, right? If something's trending, you're going to want to jump on that trend. Like if people are searching these things out, remember YouTube is connected to Google, and Google is a search engine. So YouTube is a search engine. So
I read last night that YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world. #2.
Yeah,
that means Google's
Google.
#1 and YouTube is #2.
So absolutely. So the actual goal is to get it where somebody types in railroad strike into Google, and my video pops up under the video. That's your ultimate goal, right? So a lot of times, I know everybody's like, oh, it's about content. It's about content. Sometimes it's just fitting into the right algorithm at the right thing. Because I've seen some of the dumbest videos go viral. There's no content. It just goes viral, right? So a lot of times, too, is you want to see what's going on in the world, what's trending, what's this. If people are looking for jobs, then they're probably, the reason they like Prime videos is Prime's the place where everybody starts. So if a lot of people are looking at, you know, trucking jobs, trucking career, Prime's gonna, Prime's gonna pop up because of that. Starting your new trucking good title. Starting your new trucking career at Prime. Starting your new trucking career at Dart, because most likely somebody's looking for that field. That's
so
why they type
the
it in there.
keyword in there is going to be Dart or starting trucking or
correct.
Right?
So the whole topic of that is, well, somebody's probably going in there starting a trucking career, starting being a truck driver. So that you're putting in there, and that's actually what they're searching.
So would you say it's more advantageous or is there a way to, because you have keywords for your channel, right? And then you can tag your videos.
Right.
So your keywords that you put in for your channel keywords are going to get your channel to come up.
Correct.
Right?
What's your channel about? What's the, what type of people would you want searching that? Now,
like Lady Trucker, right? I got Lady Trucker in mind, so hopefully my channel will pop up if people are looking for Lady Trucker.
Correct. Correct. Okay. And then from there, what's this video about? And then you do channel tags, and that helps them feed it into the right area.
That's for rail strike, right? Like this it's going to bring up your rail strike videos. Okay.
Correct. But I do have to jump off here because I just got a message.
We've gone a good long time, so I really appreciate the time and all the advice. And guys, everybody in the chat and girls in the chat, I hope this gave you some extra information to help your YouTube channels or try some stuff
Absolutely.
out.
And I do appreciate Snorlord coming in and babysitting and make sure that I don't tell anybody to go down a path that he doesn't want them to go down. So I do thank Father Snorlord for coming in and babysitting and making sure I don't send anybody down the path of doing reaction videos. Although reaction videos right now, I watched somebody go from 300 subscribers to 3,000 subscribers in a day with a video that went with 41,000 views. doing a reaction video. So it is something that, you know, I was actually shocked about that one. So, all right, that being said,
never know sometimes, you know.
absolutely, you never know. So
I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much for the time and dropping the gems for us today. And I'd love to have it back some other time. And thanks for Snorlord for coming in and also jumping in the conversation. That's always awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks to all you guys to you know, for coming in and checking out the info we've been presenting here today. I appreciate the time and you guys coming in to visit us and all that. So I love you guys. I'm going to end this video here and I'll title it really great. I think I did okay in the title. Did you see it?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, so I was trying to take your advice. So yeah, so it'll be up for anybody to catch on the replay too. Love you guys. Have a great, safe day. See you later.
See ya.